Out the gate, spitting venom, grab your headphones. Jonnyroobs like the fuse, spark the gemstones. 2400, we in signal detonate. Podcast vibes, we ignite, let it resonate. Lyrical, cynical, tactical in the intervals. Miracles critical, magnetic in your visuals. Kings and jokers blending jokes with the intellect. Download the episode, come correct, we interject. Faces beam, cream, screams, dream supreme. Fan base, solid gold, radar pristine. Every week, new story, microphone glory. Johnny with the anecdotes, never bore allegory. Jonnyroobs, tune in loud.
Welcome to the 2400 Block Podcast with your host, Jonnyroobs.
Well, here we are. We haven't seen each other in a long time, and I think the last time I communicated with you was we were talking about the Dodgers well on their way to winning the World Series against the Yankees. Yeah, so I already figured that they were going to beat the Yankees. And that beard looks good on you, bro.
Thanks.
It really does.
Appreciate it.
And you sure come a long way from 2008 when I first met you.
Right?
When we were in Singles for Christ. Oh, that feels like ancients ago.
Yeah, can you see me okay?
Oh, I see you real good. I am just going to read what you had here. I copy and pasted, by the way. It says, you said, I think a good topic would be how we met and became friends. And he said, then we can go into what's going on in our lives now. That's a good one. And then we could also mix in what we do in our free time and likes and dislikes. And you like to talk about the Dodgers. Okay. It's on, man. This is what it's like, man. When you have something in mind, I am going to follow. So welcome to, I guess you can call this Chip Off the Block. Finally, first episode of Chip Off the Block. We have Ed out there in Los Angeles, right?
Right.
How hot is it over there?
Right now it's really nice. It's like 78.
Oh man, that's
good.
good. That is awesome.
Cold at night, like around 55, 60.
Uh-huh.
Really nice. How about Chicago? Is it still hot?
It has its moments. Sometimes it's like almost 80 degrees and maybe the next day will be 34.
Right.
So I guess it's still trying to fight old man winter, and we have temperatures now in 49.
Okay.
So that's not bad at all. I guess we're getting there now. Probably by May it'll get warmer. Just in time for all that baseball. I know there's a lot going on here in Chicago.
Actually, the Cubs are coming to Dodger Stadium this weekend.
Interesting.
Tomorrow is the first game. Freddie Freeman's supposed to be back.
Oh.
I know that was the team that the Dodgers played in Tokyo, Japan. I guess there was a lot of hype with Ohtani. I think he makes just as much money in endorsements over in Tokyo than he does here in States.
Yeah, but that's good. A big name, an import from Japan is making waves over there at your team, and you guys are like stacked with a good lineup as well. So, any players like big names have been traded off to another team
for the Dodgers?
Well,
I guess a couple years ago, I really like Trey Turner. He's playing for the Phillies now. Cody Bellinger, like 3 or 4 years ago. This year, not too many. I think they got all they wanted. Blake Snell, he's injured right now, though. They got a big piece there. But it should be a good season. They expect us to repeat, but we'll see. Got to play the game.
And when was the last time you went to Dodger Stadium?
It's been a while. It's so expensive now. I think it'll be 3 years ago this June for my birthday. Went to see the Yankees. I was planning on trying to go again. The Yankees are coming the weekend before my birthday.
Oh.
I'll be going to Vegas the weekend after, the 14th. For my bowling league. So.
Oh, okay. I totally forgot that you're a good bowler, huh?
I'm not where I would want to be, but yeah, I'm average to above average, I would say.
That's good. Me, I always keep hitting spares for some reason. I don't know.
Spares are actually good.
Yeah.
I think anybody can get a strike, but getting those one-pin spares are the tough part.
Yeah.
I think.
As soon as I hit it the wrong way, I'm just not looking back at it. I'd
What?
like to get that.
It's big in Chicago because when it gets cold, that's the only thing to do. Go indoors.
Yeah.
My dad's originally from Chicago.
Oh, that's nice.
Hmm.
Like as in downtown Chicago, within the city.
Um, not sure. It's been a while. He moved when he was around 18. Well, it's
Oh,
funny because he moved here, he finished high school, and then his mom, after my grandpa and grandmother separated, were living there alone. So, yeah, he went back there for a year and then came back when he was 19 and never went back.
uh huh.
He always says the cold. I can't do the cold anymore.
Well, you can tell him that weather has significantly improved here for the last couple of years now. It has
Mm.
gotten warmer and warmer, and all we had was like maybe one or two big snow events. But other than that, winter has been rather mild. But temperature's been fluctuating back and forth, even in the 70s at some point. So maybe he could go back to Chicago maybe the
But,
next time around whenever he wishes. How old's your dad now, by the way?
he was born in 36, so,
Oh, wow.
um, or 37.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was born in 50. They're 13 years apart. So my mom,
Oh,
in October, mom will be 75. And then he'll be 83 in October.
oh, wow. That's cool.
Hmm.
Man. How old are you now, Ed? If you don't mind me asking, I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
45. I'll be 46 in June.
Healthy 46. You don't even look like 46.
Thank you.
And look at me, man. I just turned a big 5-0 last September of last year.
Wow, you look great for 50. I wouldn't be walking down the street. I would say maybe you're 30. You look
Yeah.
really good.
I say about, if I was to look at myself right now, I would probably say, oh, that dude's probably in his late 30s, mid 30s, late 30s. Just looking at myself in the mirror every single day.
So, can you remember anything the day we met? Anything specific? I
Well,
know.
I do know it was in somebody's house that I met you in.
I think it was Clarabelle, maybe? Does
Hmm,
that ring a bell?
kind of, yeah. Sometimes it's hard, man, because it's like, what, 15 years ago?
Oh, I think it
Wow.
was more than
Oh,
that.
more than that.
Probably close to, let's see, I moved back in 2015,
Mm-hmm.
so that was 10 years. So you're talking, yeah, almost like you're talking 2008,
Yeah.
2007. So over
17
15.
years. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
15 was a good guess.
yeah.
We can always go back to Facebook. That's the
Yeah.
good thing about Facebook is it knows
You can always
when.
go back to the timeline.
Yeah,
Sometimes I just type in Orlando 2008. There we are.
yeah.
One great group photo with everybody, and there you are, like on the bottom row, and I'm little head on the back row. And I remember you had a Green Bay sweater or shirt or something like
Yeah, I
that.
still have that actually.
Oh, wow.
I've had that for a long time. It has some holes in it, but
Oh, yeah.
it's it's getting up there.
Yeah, I have a Michael Jordan shirt, and it's 34 years old now, and there's maybe two or three small holes on it. So I'm just gonna wear it out.
So you're originally from Virginia Beach?
Yes, I am from Virginia Beach, and you're probably wondering how I got into Orlando in the first place. You definitely want to know, right?
I think I've heard this story before.
Okay.
I think you had some friends down there, right?
I had a friend. Yeah,
No
and put
longer.
that in past tense. Um, it's a long story, but I'm gonna try to keep it simple. I know it's centered about me not having a job
Mhm.
at that time, where he kind of I don't want to say he turned on me, but I guess he was forced to because for one, I did not sign any lease living with him. Number two, the landlord or the person in charge kind of noticed me, and I guess he must have asked him And then after that, he was wanting me to be out of the property. So I kind of thought, this is it for me. I'm probably going back to Virginia. And I've only met the Singles for Christ group for a few days, and I'm going back. But then I reached out to Kathy, who just lived right across the street, and asked her if I could stay in for a while until I find a job. And she was a lady of her word. She let me stay there for free. But I found a job opportunity out there in Kissimmee. I know that's quite a drive. It was a 45-minute drive, but I was very happy to finally have a job. And I was able to pay her here and there, although she never asked for it. But I just wanted to be fair enough because she's taking care of me and I'm using the electricity and everything and even the shower. So it's just best enough for me to help her with the bills because I know it will double up.
She was a nurse or something, right?
Yeah, and she probably still is. If I could think, she is probably in her mid-50s now. And I think when the first time I met her, she was only in her mid-30s. Wow, time flies. Mid or late 30s.
Yeah, time does fly.
Yeah, so, and also if you're probably wondering how the idea came for me to go to Orlando, well, it's not just my friend. There was something in my life that changed everything. I was bringing in somebody from Illinois, and I thought that she was the one, but it turns out that I was used.
I'm sorry.
And it broke my heart, man. I was like depressed for months. She knows my world, my friends. So I mean, there was only one thing in mind, and I went to Disney World one time, and then my friend said to me, "John, why don't you move in, see what happens?" And he too was from the Norfolk, Virginia Beach area, but he moved there just because he wanted to start, life new, and he got married. He had a kid. Now he got 2 kids. So, but it's good that he was able to give me an opportunity to start fresh, to start new, to meet new people.
Right.
So I'm blessed to have the opportunity. I know there's something that got in the way between me and him, and I know it centered about money, and he never gave me a contract for me to sign. He just wanted me to be out because he just wanted to save himself. I don't blame him.
So he was paying rent to someone else, and they didn't know you were staying there? Is that what happened?
Yep.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
That was a while ago, though.
Yep. And that was the first time that I was not with my family. So it felt kind of weird him around.
I remember before you left, I think you ended up getting a little tiny apartment, right?
Yeah. I believe you're the one that helped me out, I think.
I helped you move some of your stuff.
Right.
I think I met your mom at that time.
Yeah.
How are your parents doing?
Oh, man. You know what? It's a little bit painful for me to be open about it. But I'll definitely talk to you about it. Well, as far as they're concerned, I think they're doing okay. I hope they are. My mom just left me a text message. I'll have to get back to her.
You have a girlfriend? Are you guys married yet, or?
I have a girlfriend. We've been together since 2009, and we're not married yet. We're just in a very close relationship. We're not at that point yet where we really want to settle down. She's pretty much day in and day out when it comes to her job. I actually worked with her for about 13 years. So, man, I can't believe time flew. When you're working a whole lot, when you're traveling to different states, and then the work pretty much just consumes you, and you just have breaks in between, it just feels weird now. And now here I am, 2025.
What are you doing now? You're in traffic coming home from work?
Actually, I was picking her up.
Okay.
So it was about 45 minutes over. And then it turned out to be almost an hour because of the constant stoplights and traffic congestion. And it's just within the suburbs, but still, it's always packed with traffic.
Outside the city?
Yeah. The more you go away from the city, it seems a bit comfortable when it comes to traffic. When you're in Chicago, you're just stuck.
Yeah.
When I picked up friends from Union Station over there in Chicago, the whole drive heading towards this way was about maybe 25 or 30 miles per hour the entire time. It was
Wow.
a snooze fest, man. So how did you end up in Orlando, Ed?
I ended up in Orlando. Let's see. It's a funny story.
Huh?
So it was around, it was after 9/11. I think it was around 2002, 2003.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather had passed away. And then my uncle was living in Florida at the time.
Uh-huh.
And he just, when he was here for the funeral, he just said, well, if you ever need a place to stay or I can help you get a job, just come on and live with me. So when I lost my job and, there's nothing for me, I just felt like I needed to go. So I called him up, and within a week, I drove down to Florida, and that's how I ended up there. I ended up making a lot of friends in the church,
Oh, that's good.
partly because he was Mormon and I didn't really want to go to his church. So
Mm-hmm.
I just told him, God works in mysterious ways. I just told him that I was going to find my own way, my own church. So I did, and I ended up meeting a lot of people like you and Singles for Christ, and I got really involved with the church over there, which I haven't really continued here, but it was a different time for me. I needed that, and God knew that. So that's pretty much the short end of the story.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up getting to Orlando.
Yeah. Speaking of church, I remember you took me to your church that one time. I think I met you in a church, one of your church, and then I was like in a group, if I remembered, and we met Stephanie. Remember Stephanie?
Stephanie?
I don't know if you remember, but I think maybe a few days after that, I friended her on Facebook. So that's how I remembered, because of adding someone on Facebook.
Was that in Altamont Springs or
No,
Longwood?
it was somewhere in John Young Parkway. I know I was in a group and you introduced me. I just remembered that.
I think maybe that was Holy Cross.
Yeah, probably was.
Because I think,
And we met each other too at that shopping mall called the Loop over there in
yeah, we had lunch with your brother.
oh.
Did you travel to California at all, or you came back to Orlando one?
Actually, I did not go to California until 2017 because of my girlfriend's family. They have a loved one over there. My girlfriend's sister, she lives in San Diego, still does. So yeah, that's my first time being in California, and then I went there maybe on another 2 or 3 occasions, and then somewhere in between, I went to Anaheim, went to Disneyland finally.
Yeah, it's the same but different. I prefer Disneyland over Disney World,
Uh huh.
but I prefer Epcot over any of the other. I really liked Epcot.
You like that, worldly feel, like you're in France and then you end up in Japan,
Or Mexico or Canada.
right?
Yeah,
Uh
it's all.
huh.
It was that's a very appealing part of that park.
Yeah, I just like Disney World because it has 4 different parks over there.
Yeah, Magic Kingdom's a lot like Disneyland.
Yeah.
But I always was upset when I found out in Disney World they didn't have Indiana Jones ride like they do in
Mm.
Disneyland. That was probably my favorite ride.
Yeah. How often did you went to Disney World when you were in Orlando?
I went a lot. I met a friend. Ironically, we were playing in a free poker league, and ironically, his name is Ariel. So we always used to call him the princess because his name is similar to Ariel.
Uh huh.
A lot of people call him Ariel, but you really pronounce it Ariel.
Yeah.
So he was a floats manager, so whenever he wasn't blacked out, I could get in.
Uh-huh.
When I came back, my nieces were younger, and I ended up getting a pass to Disneyland, but it just got too expensive. The Disney, they make a lot of money in a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
You think they could? You think they could bring down their prices just a little bit?
I highly doubt it.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
I think the last time I was there in Orlando, around that time that we saw each other, the parks were at least $70 a day. Yeah, for one park.
Yeah, for one park. I think it might be closer to 200 for two parks.
Yeah. Gosh, it wasn't even that much either when you did the park hopper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 140 or 130 back then. But
Mm-hmm.
no, I don't know the prices, but I don't even know if you still have to make reservations anymore.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing compared to the time we were there. Now you have to really plan ahead, see what rides you want to go on because some of them are on reserve
Yeah,
for a certain time, for a certain day. So yeah. So that way at least it guarantees you a certain time for you to show up. You don't even have to be at line. You just want to make sure you arrive on time at this ride.
right.
Have you rode in anything that you reserved for?
No, I, I don't think I've been since like 2017, 2018.
Oh, okay.
I've been, it's been a while.
Uh-huh.
Just things are so expensive and just haven't been back.
I think the last time I reserved a ride and showed up in one was when the Star Wars land opened and I rode into Millennium Falcons.
Mhm.
So that was the last time I reserved something.
Yeah, I haven't even been there for Star Wars Land.
Mm-hmm.
I think they took out a portion of Toontown to have that.
Yeah. Well, they removed that stunt show.
Okay. The Indiana Jones stunt show?
No, the one with the cars.
Okay.
They removed that one. They removed Camp Minnie and Mickey. They removed that for Avatar.
Okay.
Yeah.
I th- wasn't Avatar in Animal Kingdom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually loved it.
Yeah, I haven't been there since they had the Avatar.
Mm-hmm. So, you going back to Los Angeles, how does it feel like moving back over there since leaving Orlando? Do you miss home a lot? Do you miss LA a lot when you went back?
I did. I
Uh-huh.
think when I moved back to Los Angeles, did miss a few of my friends, of
Uh-huh.
course. But it was nice to be closer to family. I think back before my dad had his first stroke, and I think it was around 2012 that happened. And I can just remember having the second one like 2 years later, and I'm just like, I would hate to be all the way over here and have to travel if something really bad happened. So
Mm-hmm.
I just decided to move back at that point.
Oh. Your dad is okay now, right? Things are going
Yeah,
well with him right now?
things are well. It's just kind of slipping a little bit with his memory, but
Mm-hmm.
he's in good spirits, and he's just, having a hard time walking around. So it's pretty much bedridden. My mom is his primary caregiver. So I'll do some of the shopping sometimes. My younger brother will help without the shopping for them.
So it's pretty much like a family effort.
Yeah,
Like everyone has some sort of role.
right.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, over here it's just me living under this roof with her family. They're interesting. They're very full of life. Each one of them have a unique personality, and it took some getting used to, but I'm in love with it now. I'm usually in an environment where I usually keep things to myself. I usually remain in a quiet area. That's how I always achieve the peace of mind wherever I go. I love being in a quiet area. It helps me get focused. Helps me appreciate the day. Not too many people get a chance to appreciate the day because there's just so much going on in their lives. No one gets a chance to like look outside. Look at that beautiful sun. Look at the beautiful trees or the birds chirping. Some people just don't get past that.
So ironic that you're in Chicago. Reminds me of the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh yeah.
I think the line's something like, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around a little bit, it's going to pass you up, or something like that.
Yeah. And since you said that, I might as well just try to get something from the Ferris Bueller store. Maybe I should give you one of the shirts. I did went into their store one time on Michigan Avenue, and I took a snapshot of their Ferris Bueller area there.
The show, or the part when he's on the float, I heard that there were actual people just walking around. They weren't extras that were in the movie.
Oh.
And I think when they came back for reshoots is when they did some of the shots off the float. But when he was on the float, I think I've read that there were actual people just standing around and dancing to the music.
It just caught everybody by surprise.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah. I think the last time I saw a movie being made, it was just a bunch of explosions, and here I was on a subway ride from Wrigley Field, making my way through explosions after explosions. I'm like, what is this? And then as soon as I got off, I'm like, oh, Transformers. Dark of the Moon.
Okay.
So if you see all those explosions going on, and then you see the subway train moving, you'll be like, oh yeah, John was on that one.
How fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Things exploded, but you didn't hear no kabooms or whatever. Those are just rigged explosions.
Right.
Maybe I can hear like a little bit of a firecracker like that every once in a while.
I think they do that for the reaction of the actors.
Uh-huh.
But they dub everything in later for editing and CGI and all that.
Uh-huh. Man, I even lifted one of the debris off the road. This thing is made out of foam. Yeah. And it was good to see all those vehicles out there parked. Bumblebee and Ratchet and Optimus Prime is not too far away.
So you're not working right now?
Good question, Ed. Thanks for asking. I am not working right now, or shall we say I'm kind of working, but it depends on my car, and I'm getting it tested out right now. And I've been doing rideshare for almost 2 years, and it's been fun. It's a great experience. Gives me a chance to interact with a lot of people, me getting to know them and them getting to know me. Right. I maintain a 5-star rating for over 400 rides, so I'm very happy to get that from people. And I might come across maybe some 1 or 2 bad customers just because they had a bad day. They just take it on you.
Yeah, you can't control that.
Yeah.
I did that for a while. I haven't done it for a while, but if any time I need some extra money, I do like DoorDash, or I was doing Instacart for a while.
Oh. Instacart was fun?
Yeah, it could be challenging. Some people, every once in a while, you get someone that say all their stuff are missing and they get everything for free.
Oh.
It doesn't happen that often, but...
Now, were you always like swamped in traffic?
Not too bad. I try to stick around home, but here, since I live about 30 miles east of LA, traffic isn't too bad. They're doing a lot of construction on my way to work, but I go to work around 2:30 in the morning, then I'll get home around 10. So I miss the traffic, which is a plus for what I do, but just the schedule is grueling. Like, I was sleeping, and I'm glad it kind of got delayed today. Your start. I think I woke up around 1. I was like, oh, shoot. And then I saw your message. It was like, you're going to be a little bit late.
Yeah. Yep, I was a man of my word, man. I just cooped up in traffic for a while, but I was going to make my way through.
So if your podcast ever goes big, Is that a possibility of an income stream?
Yeah, it's a possibility. I might get lucky. Who knows? One could be watching and be like, "Oh, I want that guy. I'm going to sponsor that guy." So,
Right.
well, we'll see what happens. My last interview was with Jamie Bennington, which was Chester Bennington's son. Chester Bennington was the lead singer of Linkin Park.
Oh, how cool!
So that was a good one, and I had over 5.6 right now and counting, and that is the biggest episode so far.
Nice.
Yeah, he had a lot on his mind. He really wanted to let it all out, what his thoughts were on Linkin Park and them not acknowledging him or his family about a reunion, them being left out. And I just let him do his thing,
Let him vent.
let him speak up uninterrupted, let him do his rant.
Well, hopefully you get some bigger names from that podcast.
Yeah, I'm slowly getting there, man. I think one guy I want to interview, since he's Filipino like me, is Lou Diamond Phillips, man. I want to talk to that guy.
That would be a cool interview.
Yeah. But talking to you so far is not bad. Not bad at all. This is a start.
I'm honored to be able to be on your podcast.
Yeah.
Appreciate you thinking of me.
You're very welcome.
I've listened to a few episodes.
Yeah. How was it?
It was good.
Yeah, I still feel kind of rusty doing some of these episodes. Sometimes I had my good moments. Sometimes I mess up. But I say to myself, I carry on. Move on to the next episode.
Right.
So, I mean, they're all there. I mean, I took some out because some of them were very personal to me. So, folks, if you are wondering like why some of these episodes are left out on the list, is because I was going through a trying time and I wanted some people to chime and say whatever they needed to say to help me at that particular point in time. But I don't think now I don't need to look back into it. It was good to receive a lot of praise, receive a lot of advice, but now I don't need to look back at that. So
The episodes hit harder than others, I guess.
yeah. So I think those who left me messages or text me, whatever it is they needed to cheer me up. I mean, I can tell you right now, Ed, that you try your best to be a really good person to the world, but sometimes some people just look past that. They don't recognize you for being you being just a good guy, a genuine, loving, good guy. Yeah.
So why the 2400 block? What significance is that?
Well, it was the first and only name that came to mind. I never thought about any other name that could top that. 2400 block basically was the neighborhood I grew up on for most of my life, in a Norfolk neighborhood. Yeah, it is considered a 2400 block. I still talk to some of my friends who live there still, and some of them have moved on and raised a family in another city. So it's still there. The aura is still there, although I don't live there anymore. I've passed by my old home, can't even recognize it anymore because so much has been done to it. It's so totally renovated that I can't even see a piece of my childhood just by looking at that house. It's just a totally different thing.
You've had some people from that neighborhood on?
Well, no, but one did made the beats for my podcast last season. He actually gave me his beats, and he lives somewhere. He lives somewhere, I believe, in maybe in Orange County. So he used to live in the neighborhood. Now he's out there and he's raising a family of his own.
There's an Orange County in Virginia Beach?
No, over there where you are.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot to be very specific. I know there was an Orange County also in Florida. So
yeah, there was.
Yeah, I still have my license plate to Florida, by the way.
Yeah, I think I have mine somewhere too.
I think it's tucked away in as a matter of fact, let me check my bag. That's a good question. Speaking of Florida.
There you
go. There you go, yes.
J for John Eric.
Yep, that was the one in my my green Civic at the time. So my green Civic is no longer around.
Mm-hmm.
It was messed up after going through floods like 2 times over here. So that was that. I missed that car though.
Yeah, a lot of memories.
Yeah. A lot of good memories with that. I had it from like 2001 till 2012. So
Wow.
about 11 years. Yeah, 11 years.
Now, what are you driving? Just you and your girlfriend share a car?
Actually, I'm the one doing the driving. She has like disability, so she doesn't have like a strong foot or a strong leg. So I've been doing most of the driving for her, or sometimes she just takes an Uber, or maybe someone from work picks her up now. Regarding the car, I have a Sentra. It's a 2012. Been driving it, still driving it. I think the transmission is about to mess up anytime, but the car doesn't sound as smooth like it used to, mainly because I've been abusing it on the road thanks to Rideshare. It just ages my car really quick. Had it not been for that, my car would have still gotten enough life, and you won't be hearing any, weird ratchety noises that comes with it right now. But the other vehicle I drive is a 2023 Cherokee. That's the one I drive often now. Actually, I'm spoiled with it because
I
they
heard,
have leather seats, and then it heats up, especially during the wintertime. It's so perfect, man.
right?
Yeah.
I heard if you do Uber or Lyft, they let you can lease a car from them.
Yeah.
The possibility.
That's true. But you know what? That takes a lot of work. You have to put enough time to pay that.
And make money.
Yeah. I don't like driving into downtown. I've went through the outskirts and it's not good. I've had some bad experiences. So I mainly drive in the suburbs now. It may not be much, but at least it gives me peace of mind. I only drive as far as the airport. So
Right.
yeah, but I've been doing that here and there, but I haven't been doing it lately because I'm trying to transition on to finding another job somewhere maybe 10 minutes away, whatever, whether it's retail or working in an office. I can do any one of those other than driving. Driving pretty much, I'm done. My
You're
body
open.
is saying I'm done. I would rather drive for lengthy vacation trips. And the last time I actually drove on a long trip was last November when I drove all the way to North Carolina to see a friend's family. She's a friend of ours and she passed away suddenly. So I had to make a drive all the way to North Carolina, Duke country. And then later on, I had to drive another 3 hours up north to see my family in Virginia to see how my family's doing.
Awesome. Sorry to hear about them passing away, though.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're doing good, Ed. I'm glad you're living proof, even at that age now we're in. You got 5 more years till 50? Man.
It'll be 4 in June.
Wow. Proud of you, dude.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
You look good for 50.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I just always thought 50, wow, it seems so old. Now that you're approaching, it doesn't seem that old.
Yeah. Now, you know what I kind of miss? I miss my beard. I need to get my beard back.
Yeah. You look good with a beard.
Yeah, I did. I did for a while. and then I just kept looking at myself. I'm saying to myself, I need to shave this off. So now I just like keeping a mustache is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look good either way.
Thanks. So how many, I forgot how many brothers and sisters you have.
I have 2 brothers and 3 sisters.
Okay.
I have an older sister and 2 younger sisters and 2 younger brothers.
Wow. And you're somewhere in the middle there? Or you're the youngest?
Second oldest, yeah.
Oh, okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. So, what do you do in your free time over there? What do you like doing? What are your hobbies?
Bowling is pretty much what I do in my free time.
Uh-huh.
Part of a tournament club. We bowl once a month. I'm only in 1 league right now, so we'll go to Vegas and bowl our sweepstakes twice a year. We'll go the middle of June, and then we'll come back the end of November, do it all over again. It's a lot of fun. Gets me out, meet some new people, spend some time with some older friends that I've been bowling with for a while.
Yeah.
It's a nice little hobby. What about you?
Well, I like doing this. That's one.
Hobby, right?
Yeah, and then I'm also writing a book. I'm halfway done now. So
Awesome.
still trying to finish it. And one of my biggest wishes is to see a hardbound book that I made. That's something I want to achieve like in my lifetime. So hopefully that gets to happen. Cool cover and all. You get to see all the characters in the front and you'll be like, oh, that's John's book.
You have a name of your book yet?
Not yet. I still call it Untitled. But I do have some titles that come to mind. If you want to ask me what it's all about, it's not a self-help book. It's not a self-improvement book. It's more like a work of fiction. And I guess I can say it's a science fiction / post-apocalyptic era. But it's fun. It's sort of like a PG-13 version of a story. It's full of fun. You got great characters. You got a good storyline. You get to see things making sense. So you'll be like, "Oh, this happened because that happened."
Right.
So as you read on to the story, you'll be so hooked immediately.
Hopefully, you get it published.
Yeah, I hope so. I actually have a book author friend from North Carolina who's giving me pointers. He's a best-selling author on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been following him for the last few months since we've talked on a podcast. I actually gotten a chance to interview him last season. So it's always good to, meet all these interesting personalities that come to mind, whether they're like a CEO of a digital marketing company or a person who relies on virtual assistants, Chat GPT. Also talking with a professional wrestler. His name is Kenny King. He's over there kicking ass somewhere right now. But if you were wondering how I met Kenny King, I actually met him at my job at Orange Lake over there in Kissimmee. He was a quality assurance officer while I was over there working on paperwork for the timeshare company. Yep, Orange Lake. Can't miss it, especially if it's on the 192. All right. So likes and dislikes.
Well, I definitely like sports.
Me too.
Baseball is number one.
Yeah.
I like to spend time with family and friends, and I like to watch movies and TV shows. And dislikes, rude people. It's hard. I think it's harder to think of dislikes, but
Yeah.
I think one of my pet peeves is like someone that has to pop their gum or something, or people that have to annoy people to make themselves feel good about themselves.
Especially on social media pranks. I haven't faced one of those yet. I seen a crazy guy dancing on this intersection. There's a guy who's just like doing his free form dancing and he's just dancing his ass off. But I just thought that was pretty cool what he's doing. As long as it makes him happy, as long as he's getting the attention and the views. I actually wrote to him and I said, "Man, keep up the good work, bro. Keep it up." So yeah. My dislikes. I dislike people talking on the phone very loud. Like, I don't want to hear your problems.
Right.
Sometimes they're saying it to you, but no, they're on Bluetooth or they're holding their phone.
Yeah, that could be annoying.
Yeah, I have so much dislikes, man. I dislike customers, the one in front of you. It takes forever to finish, and then all of a sudden runs into a problem, and you be like, "No, man, I want to be out of here. Another 10 minutes of this."
Or what if you're in line, like at a Starbucks or something?
Yeah.
It's a long line, and they have so long to make their decision, and then they get up and like, now what did I want? Then they have to make their decision at the front.
Right. Yeah. My girlfriend likes to always look at the menu right then and there. I'm always the person that asks her, like, I always like to pre-plan things. I love to order things on the app so she can like choose whatever she wants. So that way we can pay for it now and just pick it up right at that location. I try to make it easier.
That's an easy one.
Yeah. Now, have you come across any bad sports fans over there when you're in Dodger Stadium?
Not too many. Everyone's pretty
chill.
Pretty chill, yeah. It's more the other fans that come in.
Like the visiting team fans?
Yeah.
Oh.
But every once in a while you can get your unruly fans.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you saw in the World Series that one New York fan that had to try to take that ball out of Mookie Betts' hand.
Yeah. Yeah. That was crazy.
They wanted to kick him out, like he couldn't come back, and then they said he could come back, but then I guess they changed their mind and told him. I think it was more that he wanted to get notoriety, and that's why he did what he did.
Yeah.
But the other guy behind him, I don't know if you ever saw the video, looked like what did he do? He didn't do anything wrong. Like it was just something normal,
Uh-huh.
like a New Yorker would do or something.
Yeah.
But that was the funny part. Like, what did we do?
Those fans are like banned, right? Banned for life over there at
I think so.
was it all parks or is it just Yankee Stadium?
I think it's just Yankee Stadium. I think maybe just for the playoffs, and
Mm-hmm.
he might have been a fan, like a season ticket holder.
Oh.
I don't know. I never dug that deep. I knew he couldn't come back for the playoffs.
Yeah. So are you a season ticket holder?
No.
No.
One of these days, maybe.
Yeah.
Even though I love the sport, it
Mm-hmm.
would be hard for me to go like a lot like that.
Yeah.
I like to be at home, maybe watch a game on TV or something, but
They don't black out any programming over there, right? Just because it's the Dodgers, like you're in a certain area and they had to black out a game just because.
they do.
Oh.
Like, they mainly have it where you need a specific cable company to watch the game,
Oh wow.
where it's not on any other cable provider, which is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
They signed some $1 billion deal about 15 years ago or something.
Oh.
Kind of annoying.
Yeah. Man, just prices for events, whether it's sports or a concert, it's going like sky high.
Yeah, everything's getting really bad.
Mm-hmm. I think the last concert that I attended was Celine Dion back in 2019.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I guess I can treasure that memory because I'm not sure if she'll be ever doing concerts again.
Yeah, I heard something went wrong with her voice or something.
It's actually she has some sort of stiff muscle syndrome. Yeah, it's like some muscle situation, like it just locks.
Oh,
And there's actually a documentary film on what happened to her for the last few years, and it's showing her going through therapy sessions, trying to get herself back, but it's
right.
not working. So all I can do is hope for the best on her,
Right.
Yeah.
If she wants to get back, and I know she has lots of money that could help her recover
Yeah.
if she wants to.
Yeah, she's doing everything she can. I mean, I can even hear her like crying in one of those scenes that was filmed. She wanted to let him continue filming because she wants everyone to know what she's going through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
I love doing this podcast. If you were probably wondering like how did this all started, it was because there was the pandemic and it happened around April or May. We didn't have any work for months and we had this money coming in, and I always loved being on a mic. I used to do parties and events. I used to be the guy holding the mic, and I had a DJ team behind me. They were doing their thing, but I was the masters of ceremonies. So I was always the guy in the mic. And when I was a kid, I always wanted to become a DJ because I've been hearing all these DJs in the radio station. I'm like, why don't I be like that? Well, here we are on the pandemic, and this gives me a chance to showcase my skills. And how did I got into it was because my friends from church in Virginia Beach started a podcast, 4 guys just talking about anything during the pandemic. And then I asked one of them, what kind of equipment do you have? And then he told me he has this and he has that. And then I followed. I started doing some research on podcasting equipment, looking at this type of mic that they use and this mic arm here. Well, I had an old mic arm back then. But I think in the beginning, I did not have a mic arm at all. I just had a mic stand.
Mm-hmm.
So now I got this. And it's fun.
Looks more like they use on radio.
Yeah. Then I paid for this mic flag here to represent. And then behind me, lastly, is the sign. And you're seeing it all lit up right now.
Looks good.
Yeah, that's one way to conclude it. Because last time I had it, I had a repeating banner. I don't know if you've seen some of my episodes. I had a repeating banner behind me. So I used that mainly to cover all the junk that was in the room because I didn't like the way it turned out on the camera.
If I listened to it, I'm listening to it in the car, so I would just hear it. I wouldn't see video or anything.
Yeah, that's what you'll be noticing. I've done the audio podcast from the first season up until the third season, and then fourth season on, it's like a hybrid. So sometimes you'll be seeing the video portion, and then sometimes you'll be hearing the audio portion, depending on what platform you're either hearing or seeing. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think we're going to try to come up with some really, really good topics, maybe some of which can take us away from some of that crazy things going on in society these days. It's just very disappointing to see all this unfold. I'm all in for you vote for this person, you vote for that person, but to instigate something, to try to start up something in a bad way, I don't like, man. I mean, I respect the First Amendment. But for people to go over and start doing really crazy things, and then you have the telling people to do this, to do that, and things just go awry, man. Things are just like crazy.
It could be overwhelming.
Yeah, but I'm glad to stay away from that thing.
Cool deal.
I know it's a very sensitive issue to talk about politics and stuff like that.
Religion, politics, it's all.
Yeah.
Sticky subjects.
Yep. And then people be arguing on a dinner table about it. Families are torn apart because one family member believes this, the other believes that.
It's good to talk to you. It's been a while.
Yeah. Same here, bro. Same here. Yeah, so if you ever have any topics that come to mind that you'd like to talk about, feel free to hit me up with a message or something like that, and just type in something and I'll be like, okay, noted.
Okay.
So whatever topics you want to talk on Chip Off the Block, feel free. I'll give you the liberty to. I've started some episodes on my own, and I come up with some of these topics from my head, and all of a sudden I start having a discussion with people about it. But now I want people like yourself and others to come up with some topic, and we can all share and talk about it together.
Definitely. Let's see it.
Wow, I can't believe it's already 5 o'clock over here.
Wow. 3 o'clock.
Wow, that's awesome. We're living in different time zones.
The technology, we'll be able to connect.
If you were to ask me why I'm grateful for living in the now, it's this, having to communicate easily using the camera, using the phone and the phone's multifunctional capabilities. Like it's more than just a phone now. It does so many things. It's 3 or 4 devices all in one.
Yeah. When we were kids, we couldn't fathom some of the technology.
Yeah.
Like we were really cool with the AOL disk.
Yeah.
Online, waiting 10 minutes for it to connect. And if someone started to use the phone and
especially in downloading your files, like Napster files. Remember that? Napster?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's going way back.
I'm still holding on to those MP3s. It's somewhere on an external hard drive.
I remember you posting some video you used to took when you were in your 20s.
Oh, yeah. I've had some really old videos, but when I play them now on a television screen, my goodness, look how poor quality it looks. Well, back then, the televisions were not really quality. Of course, the technology changes when it comes to screen, picture, and resolutions. So if you watch it on a 4K screen, it just doesn't look as good. It just looks all, like I said, Minecraft looking. Pixelated.
There's a new movie called Minecraft out.
Yeah, all these kids going nuts. I heard about the kids erupting in cheers every time they see something happen.
I really like Jack Black. I might check it out.
Yeah, I might check it out too. And I think by the time May rolls, I'm going to see the Thunderbolts movie, the next Marvel movie, the next big event. And then after that is Avengers Doomsday. And Robert Downey Jr. will play a variant version of Doctor Doom.
You can take some of the younger ones to the movies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wish I had nephews around here, but there's no relative other than the one that I just mentioned that I come across with, because most of them are either in Virginia or some of them are in California. So my cousin, she's with her husband in California, so they're over there. I forgot what part of California they're from. I think they're in Los Angeles.
It's not cheap.
No.
I thought gas prices were going to go down when Trump got elected. But they've been up since he's been.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he's having all these tariff wars, trade wars.
It's like our whole livelihood is on the line, man. Regardless of your gender, regardless of your beliefs, political views, and whatnot, we're all on the line, man. Hopefully, things turn out on the positive swing. Let's hope.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
Trump stirs up some stuff.
he does. He pushes a lot of buttons,
It could be
and that's
good
what.
and bad.
Yeah.
I had a girl I was talking for a while.
Hmm.
All of a sudden, it became an issue that I voted for Trump.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She said it's kind of a deal breaker. I'm like,
Hmm.
my parents been married over 50 years, and my dad's Democrat and my mom's Republican.
Oh
Somehow,
my.
somehow it worked. So
Uh huh.
that can't be a deciding factor. We just, like you said earlier in the podcast, we all have our views, but I think you just respect someone, and I'm just not part of that thought process. And you obviously see the world different, and you think a different way, which is fine. That's what makes us all individuals.
Yeah. I think what we all need, and I said it on my unofficial episode, was for us to somehow know each other's perspectives, regardless of what views you might have. It's always good to hear the other side, but to get an open mind. And sometimes I see people just going crazy because they're being paid to do it, or they're just following all this misinformation, not accurate stuff. I just wish people just had the chance to do a lot of research before they jump into something.
Right.
I mean, that to me, is what I would do, before I try to do some sort of a formal protest. But I wouldn't do it like how they're doing it now. I've seen them like going over the edge, crying, shouting, and it just irks me sometimes, especially if I see it on social media. It just gets under my skin. But sometimes I just gotta say, it is what it is. The world is just so big right now, and you can only do but so much in trying to get that things resolved, because it's not going to get resolved right away. It's going to take everyone's part to get it solved. Man, that was deep talk,
Yeah,
man.
that was good.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, what kind of dog you have?
a little miniature dachshund.
Oh, okay.
Her name is Mimi.
Uh-huh.
Let's see, about 8 months ago, I lost her brother.
Oh no, what happened to her brother?
We're not exactly sure,
Mm-hmm.
but he might have had cancer. He was doing really bad, and I was taking him to the vet the next day. I had an appointment, and then he just ended up showing up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I came home from like football preseason or something, he didn't meet me at the door like normal, so I knew there was something up, and I found him in the little corner.
Oh.
It's a real tough time for me.
Mm-hmm. I don't have any pets, by the way. I think last time I met some animals was my girlfriend and I were roomies in somebody's house. This couple, they had 5 cats and 2 dogs. So around maybe 2 or 3 in the morning, I can hear the cats just having at it. They're like fighting each other. I can hear things falling, crashing.
Mhm.
And then the dogs are just chill until someone knocks on the door, or someone's going to the door, then barking. They go to the door. And I sometimes have to hold myself against the door, because these dogs would try to jump over me, and they'll be loose outside for a moment, and they're going to be running away for a couple of minutes, never coming back. So sometimes I get the owner, and the owner goes out there and chases his dog. And
Right.
of course, I had to apologize, because that was very, very unexpected that they'll be jumping over me and going outside. Yeah. And that was, what, 15 years ago.
Let
Yeah.
me see if I can find the little doggy. Right
Okay.
back. Originally, her name was Monterey.
Oh, nice.
We call her Mimi.
Hi, Mimi.
Hi, Mimi.
Hi.
She's my sweetheart.
How long she's been with you?
She'll be 12 in November.
12 as in dog years?
No, human
Oh.
year.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to figure out. I think she's in her prime right now, I think.
Oh, okay.
Say hi. Jonnyroobs. Anyways.
Man, I had that name for like the longest time. I
Yeah.
think the last time I had that, let's see, the first time I actually used that name was 1998. Yeah.
How did you get that name?
Um,
Something you thought about?
I just saw my name and I somehow wanted to find a way to simplify it rather than saying, it's Jonnyroobs. So John E. Roobs, and then you called me J.E. or and I call you E.J. and
Jeej.
yeah. I mean, it works with me. People call me J.E. Some people call me John. And I remember that wrestler. He called me John the Phenomenon. So that was cool of him to come up with that nickname. And I brought it up on the show, and he was like giggling.
John.
Yep. Yeah. Gotta love technology.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so good enough that I could see your dog. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Say hi. You're a movie star. She's a sweetheart, though.
Yeah. That's nice. Makes me want to have a dog again. I haven't had a dog since I was, 4 years old.
Wow.
The last time I had a dog.
Well, hopefully in the near future, if you ever get your own place, it's easier to have a pet when you have your own place.
Yeah.
How do you tell your...
Now, did you had your dog ever since she was a pup?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think right before I moved back here, I came home for one Christmas, and then I brought them to Orlando for about a year, and then I moved back to California.
Nice.
All right.
Too bad I have no pets. The only thing I can touch is my Yeti mug. So
Yeti mug?
Yeti.
Nice and cold?
Yep. Gotta keep myself hydrated. Can't always drink this from Burger King.
I went to Burger King today?
Yeah, my stomach was growling while I was driving. I'm like, ooh, it was going, ooh. Time to stop somewhere.
What's a good restaurant besides fast food in Chicago?
Man, there's way too many over there in downtown. Some of them have really unique names. If you want to come for the best pizza, it's Pequod's. If you want the best deep dish pizza, I recommend going to Giordano's. For Portillo's, you have a good charbroiled burger or the Chicago hot dog.
So I heard about the Chicago hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that if you ask for ketchup on a Chicago dog, that they look at you strange.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's like a no-no to put ketchup on a Chicago dog. Like mustard only.
Yeah, I heard about that. I have not encountered somebody that would insult me because of that, but I never ate a Chicago hot dog anyway. I ate just hot dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, never eaten a Chicago hot dog yet. Probably will consider it maybe this year.
What's on a Chicago? Like tomatoes?
Peppers, some peppers. Definitely, let me see, I think pickles as well. And then you put it on a poppy seed bun.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the hot dog itself. Yeah, I know definitely there's garnish in there. Sorry, folks, if you're wondering, like, I'm trying to come up with what makes up a Chicago hot dog, so I may not have done any extensive research. So I'm just trying to picture it right from the top of my head and just trying to visualize it. So if I say anything wrong, if I insult anyone about the Chicago hot dog with the ingredients that I mentioned or whatever makes up the Chicago hot dog, my sincere apologies.
Have you been to Wrigley Field?
I've been there one time for a tour.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool. I was able to see that one player at the time. His name was Carlos Zambrano. I know he was a very controversial sports figure at the time. I know he has a little bit of a temper, if I remembered, but it was pretty cool going around the locker room area, seeing the concession stands, seeing the field itself. That was really cool. But this was before they put on the night lights, before they started having night games.
Okay. So that's been a while then.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So you're
Sorry,
talking.
guys. Sorry, guys. I don't know too much about baseball sometimes, but I know some of the sports figures in Chicago, like Ryan Sandberg, Sean Dunston, Andre Dawson. Man, there's just so many names. I know Pryor,
Mr.
the pitcher Pryor. His last name was Pryor.
He's actually the Dodgers pitching coach now.
Oh wow. Okay.
Mark Pryor.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And of course, you got Ernie Banks, Mr. Cub.
Yep. They have a statue of his outside Wrigley Field.
I posted an old picture from opening day at Dodger Stadium.
Oh yeah.
People are liking it and commenting on it.
Nice.
I keep on getting notifications.
That's what I do when I'm on TikTok. I repurpose most of my old videos and I just upload them on TikTok and then I'm just surprised all these views that I've gotten so far. And I put them on the cloud. And I put most of my old videos on the cloud, but decided to repurpose it on TikTok to make it entertaining. I'll tell you a story, Ed. This was pretty cool. My girlfriend was talking to a guy who was releasing his pontoon boat onto the river. And it was his first time, and he was a very proud boat owner. So him and his companion, they decided to take the pontoon boat for a ride, and we saw them go. The question was, how come they never came back? And we were waiting and waiting. She had a good conversation with him from the get-go, and I was able to film her talking to the boat owner. So we were left with no answer as to what happened to them. But later on, when I tuned in the news, I hit the remote and they're showing a pontoon boat stuck on a dam. And I'm like, that's the one you just talked to. That's him. That's their boat.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's what happened. The boat was stuck and they were rescued by emergency personnel, and a lot of people were watching on the other side. We weren't able to see what was going on because we were on the other side, many miles down. But I was able to piece the video together in which she's talking to him. And then I'm using AI voice to make it sound really cool. Then you got to put some, dramatic music to make it sound exciting. And then later on, I did a screenshot on my phone of me of scrolling down and showing like what happened. So that way people get to see like what happened next after that. So I was able to put that on TikTok.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's always good to repurpose old videos.
I hope they ended up okay.
Yeah, they turned out to be fine. But I'm not sure about the boat. Maybe he'll get it repaired.
Maybe.
I mean, from how it looked like underwater, it still looked like it could be fixed. But it was just stuck on the dam. He said that it would have problem with his motor, from what I heard. Okay. We're going to close this one out, Ed.
All right, Jonnyroobs.
All right, dude. It was nice talking to you, and I'm sure you'll unleash a couple of topics here on Chip Off the Block. This is a totally new thing, and glad to have you on board as part of the panel, and looking forward to talking to you again soon.
Awesome.
All right, have a good one, Ed.
Thanks, Johnny.
All right, dude.
All right, take care.
You too.
Thanks for checking out this episode of 2400 Block Podcast. Don't forget to follow and subscribe.